entering into a future where anything can be faked, well, then nothing is going to be real.
Until recently, seeing was generally believing, while voters couldn't be sure a candidate was always telling the truth.
Well, I'm not a crook. I burned everything I've got.
Relations with that woman.
They could trust that they did actually speak the words captured on video. The proliferation of deepfakes has changed that and could have a huge impact on how political campaigns unfold.
What happens when we enter a future in which we simply don't believe what we read, hear, or see online? How do we have a democracy? How do we agree on basic facts of what's happening in the world?
Deepfakes, synthesized video created by artificial intelligence, can depict people saying or doing things that didn't actually happen.
President Trump is a total and complete dip.
And as we approach the 2020 presidential election, the race is on to develop new technology to tackle them.
So the way we attack this problem is we build so-called soft biometric models. And these are, think biometrics like fingerprint, iris, your face. So it's not quite as unique as that. But the intention is to capture subtle facial expressions, head movements that are distinct to you as an individual and are disrupted in the creation of a fake.
Researchers at UC Berkeley are among those working on ways to beat deepfakes. They plan to make their technology available to media organizations covering the 2020 campaign.
The first thing we do is we measure all kinds of head movements and facial expressions. So you can see in this video that we're capturing, the blue box is capturing how his head is rotating in three-dimensional space. The red dots are localizing his facial expressions so we can actually see when he raises his eyebrows, when he opens his mouth. And then, of course, the green lasers coming out of his eyes are telling us where he is looking. And so on every frame of the video, over the entire video, we make a number of measurements about his facial expressions, his facial movements, and his head movements. And then we use those to build soft biometric models that distinguish him from, for example, a comedic imposter that is used to create a face swap or a lip sync deep fake. Because we're going after these really fundamental properties about the video, we think the adversary is going to have a very hard time to counteract our detection. Not impossible, but I think they're going to have a hard time. You don't really stop the forger, but what you do is you make it more difficult for them, more time consuming for them, and it requires more skill. We're basically putting speed bumps in the road for them.
Deepfake creators are constantly adapting their techniques to outsmart new detection tactics. So it's crucial that detection technology doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
It's a double-edged sword. It's a forensic technique that can also be used to create better fakes. So we want to be very thoughtful about how we deploy this technology and to whom we make it available. One of the weaknesses of our technique is that it's not generic. We have to learn a model for each individual candidate here in the US and abroad, and that is tedious and slow, but once it's learned, it's highly, highly effective.
Experts warn that advancements in technology, the spread of social media, and an impressionable population could create the perfect storm for misinformation to spread.
If you look at the ability and how sophisticated and convincing and compelling these fake videos are, I think it's probably just a matter of time, whether it's the 2020 or the next elections. So the landscape is that the ability to create fake video is developing very, very quickly. I think that we in the forensic space are lagging behind, in large part because there's fewer of us, probably to the tune of 100 to 1. We will always be playing catch up to some degree, but that doesn't mean we still can't have an impact and we still can't start to get a handle on some of these fakes.